Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about another PlayStation 5 exclusive, which is Stellar Blade. Now I got this probably like a week after it came out or so, but I haven't had time to actually play it until just a few weeks ago. And I've put 25 hours on it or so, so I'm not exactly how far I am through the game yet, but I've just really been enjoying it, and I thought I'd just do a video on it and give you my impressions of it so far. So first, let me just tell you about a little bit about, well, I guess how it was made, actually. This is actually a Korean game. And, you know, for those of you who are kind of gamers in the West here, you guys know that for a lot of our lives, the Koreans really have not done that much in gaming at all, especially like big studios putting out their own games and stuff. I mean, that we've got over here. Maybe in Korea they have more stuff going on that I don't know about, but anyways, this is, I think, the first like big Korean game that we've had come out in the US. And I read that Shift Up, the studio that makes this game, is also the first like second party studio to be, you know, signed on by Sony, I guess. So it's kind of a new and interesting thing to see what the Koreans are able to give us here. And let me tell you, they did not disappoint. This is a really cool game, much better than I thought it was going to be, actually. Now, I actually know this studio because last year, I think, or maybe 2 years ago even, they kind of put themselves on the map by making a, I think it's like a mobile and PC game. It's called Goddess of Victory Nikke. And that one, they've just made an extraordinary amount of money out of that game. And, you know, they're doing something different than all of the Western developers are doing. You know, they're giving customers basically hot, attractive anime girls with tickle bitties. So I don't know what to say. Anime girls with tickle bitties really makes a lot of money, because I think I read that in the first month that game came out, they made like $100 million off it, which is just incredible. And unfortunately, that also kind of made them a target. I read that this Shift Up company has been around for like 10 years now, but it wasn't until they started making all that money that Chinese conglomerate Tencent came in. I don't know how much you guys know about Tencent, but they seem, I don't really know a whole lot about them, to be honest, but they seem kind of like an adversarial company that just goes around buying up everything they can. And unfortunately, they got their hooks into this Shift Up company. First, they bought I think they bought out another studio to get like some kind of percentage of the company. But also, since the company is on the Korean Stock Exchange, they went that route too. And I think Tencent actually owns like 40% of the company or something like that now. And it kind of looks to me like they might be wanting to take it over, which I don't know what they'll do if they did do that, but hopefully they won't change the quality of games or, you know, start censoring stuff. This game isn't quite like Nikke at all. You know, it's got a very attractive female lead in it, but it's not as silly. You know, this is actually a lot more a serious game. It's actually what I would call the Korean version of Nier Automata. It's very, very similar to Nier Automata, you know, where you're running through kind of like a post-apocalyptic world. You're using a sword to fight horrible enemies and, you know, doing all these moves and stuff. And they've even like put a lot of stuff in that you kind of saw in Nier Automata too. I think you can actually go fishing in it too. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But very, very similar. You could tell the guys that made this game really, really loved Nier Automata. So I think that's where they got most of their inspiration for making this game. But I wouldn't say it's like a rip-off, you know. It's not like, you know, they're just copying everything in it. The character's actually interesting. She's not an android like in Nier. I think, what are they? I think they're like humans, but they're kind of like test tube grown humans, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't gotten like completely through the story yet. But the idea is to do all these superhuman things. I think they have like nanobots going through their bodies. Something like that, right? So, I mean, the character's name is Eve, and she's like flipping all over the place, using lightning swords. And the moves on the game are really different than any other game I've played, to be honest. I think they were kind of trying to meld like Nier Automata and like a Souls type game together, because the combat on this game is just brutally hard. I gotta say, I've got the game on normal mode, and I can barely get through a lot of these bosses. Sometimes these bosses are so hard that I won't even be able to to defeat them unless I put the game on like story mode difficulty, which makes it a little easier, and it kind of helps you out too. It'll like show you button prompts, like if a boss is attacking you, it'll say like, okay, press circle here to block or dodge, or whatever, something like that. So it's also kind of a good way to teach you like how to play the game correctly and how to use the moves. Because the moves, I've never seen a game designed like this. There's literally like dozens of moves that you have to remember, and doing certain button combinations when the enemies are doing certain things. It takes a lot of getting used to, I'll say. And even someone like me who's been playing Dark Souls and Elden Ring for a long time, I'm having a really hard time just getting used to the combat. Even after like 20 hours, I'm still struggling a little bit. But I think that, if you're able to kind of get the combat sets in your mind and just practice with them, like eventually it'll kind of become like second nature. You'll know exactly like when you want to press block when an enemy is coming in, or do your different attacks, because there's attacks that kind of like build off each other too. Like if you do one successful attack, you can do like a different attack with another button combination. And it's very complicated. So for those of you who are not really good with like tough combat, I might actually steer you away from this game, because it's going to be really hard for you to get very far in it. You've got to like really be a master of the controls and remembering everything about it, about the combat. But other than that, the game's very interesting. They have a very good post-apocalyptic world set up. There's like a human city still, which is the last one surviving, and you're basically trying to help them while you're kind of figuring out like how the world became this way too. Very similar to Nier in that respect too, where you don't really know what's going on throughout the game. You kind of learn towards the end, I'm thinking, that what's actually going on behind everything, and the actual like plot of the story. So, but like today, I'm not giving like a full review on it. I'm just kind of giving you my impressions on it, and yeah, that's about it as far as I can tell you right now, I think. Yeah, maybe that's it. So anyways, this game still sells for like $70. It's only on the PS5, unfortunately. But if you like Nier Automata, I definitely recommend you give this game a look and see what those clever Koreans are doing now.